My dear young ones, come sit with me for a moment. Let me tell you something that took me 80 years to truly understand. Time, you see, is the cruelest teacher of all. She gives the test first and the lesson afterward, when it's often too late to change the answers. I'm sitting here now in my favorite chair, the one by the window where the afternoon light filters through just so, and I can see the whole neighborhood bustling with life. Young mothers pushing strollers, teenagers racing to catch buses, couples holding hands as they walk their dogs. All of them moving so fast, so purposefully, yet missing the very thing they're rushing toward. You know what I wish I could tell my 20-year-old self? That the dishes can wait. That the promotion isn't worth missing your child's first steps. That the argument you're having with your sister over something so trivial will seem laughably small when she's gone. And you'd give anything just to hear her voice again, even if she's scolding you. I spent decades believing that love was something you could schedule, something you could put on hold while you handled more pressing matters. I thought my husband would always be there when I finally had time to really listen to his stories about work, his dreams for our retirement, his quiet fears about growing old. I thought my children would always need me, would always come running to share their victories and defeats. I thought friendship was like a savings account, something I could withdraw from whenever I needed without making regular deposits. How wrong I was. How beautifully, tragically wrong. Love, real love, isn't patient in the way we think it is. It doesn't wait indefinitely for us to notice it, nurture it, or return it. Love is like a garden that needs daily tending. Skip too many days, and the weeds take over. Neglect it for too long, and even the strongest roots begin to wither. I remember the exact moment I realized this. It was a Tuesday evening in March, and my husband was trying to tell me about something that had happened at his office. I was folding laundry, mentally planning the next day's meetings, half listening to his words while my mind raced through my endless to-do list. He stopped mid-sentence and looked at me with such sadness in his eyes, and said quietly, "You're not really here, are you?" That question haunted me for years. Because he was right. I wasn't there. I was everywhere else but there, in that moment, with the man who had chosen to share his life with me. The tragedy isn't that we don't love deeply. Most of us do. The tragedy is that we love carelessly, assuming that our people will always be there, that there will always be tomorrow to say the things we mean to say, to give the attention we mean to give, to be present in the ways we mean to be present. I spent so many years climbing ladders that were leaning against the wrong walls. I thought success meant being indispensable at work, having the cleanest house on the block, being the mother who never missed a school event, but somehow missed the quiet moments when my children just needed me to sit with them, to really see them. I remember my daughter, she must have been about 12, coming to me with tears in her eyes because some girls at school had been cruel to her. I was in the middle of preparing for a big presentation, papers spread across the kitchen table, my mind already in tomorrow's boardroom. I gave her a quick hug, told her everything would be fine, and sent her to her room so I could focus on work. She never came to me with that kind of problem again. Not because the problem stopped, but because she learned that my attention was always divided, always partially somewhere else. She learned to carry her hurts alone, and by the time I realized what I had taught her, she was grown and living across the country, polite but distant in our phone calls. The cruel irony is that none of those presentations I stressed over mattered in the end. None of those late nights at the office, those missed dinners, those postponed conversations changed the world in any meaningful way. But the moments I missed, the presents I didn't give, the love I didn't fully express, those absences echo through my life now with a weight that's almost unbearable. Time moves differently when you're young. It feels infinite, renewable, like there's always more where that came from. But time isn't a river that flows endlessly. It's more like morning dew, precious and fleeting, gone before you realize how beautiful it was. Your parents won't always be a phone call away. Your friends won't always have time for those long conversations that stretch late into the night. Your children won't always think you're the most important person in their world. These seasons of life are gifts, but they're temporary gifts, and we don't get to keep them forever. I wish I had understood that being busy isn't the same as being important, that productivity isn't the same as purpose, that achieving isn't the same as living. The moments that matter most are often the quietest ones. The Sunday morning when your partner wants to linger over coffee and talk about nothing in particular. The evening when your child wants to show you something they've drawn, even though you have emails to answer. The phone call from a friend who just needs someone to listen, even though you have a dozen other things you think you need to do. These moments don't announce themselves as significant. They don't come with labels that say, "This is important," or "You'll regret missing this." They slip by quietly, disguised as ordinary time, and we only recognize their value in retrospect, when they've become memories we'd give anything to relive. If I could go back, I would choose presence over productivity every single time. I would choose listening over lecturing, being over doing, loving over achieving. I would understand that the people in our lives aren't interruptions to our important work. They are our important work. So please, dear ones, don't wait until you're sitting in a chair by the window, watching life happen outside, to learn what I learned too late. Don't wait until the people you love are memories to realize how precious they were as living, breathing, present realities. Put down your phone when someone is talking to you. Cancel the meeting if your child needs you. Take the vacation. Have the difficult conversation. Say, "I love you," more often than feels necessary. Be generous with your attention, your time, your presence. Because in the end, when all the achievements fade and all the busy work is forgotten, what remains is love. The love you gave, the love you received, the moments you were truly, completely there. Don't learn this lesson the way I did, when it's too late to change anything but your perspective. Learn it now, while there's still time to live it.